We fly to Nacreen City in order to get the Lightstone. Welcome to my black walkthrough. I'm your host, DeoGenZ. Alder told me what's going on. DeoGenZ, you got caught up in something serious, it seems. Is this it? Whoa! Isn't that the stone found in the desert ruins? Or resort? Surely when I investigated the Dragon Spiral Tower, I found elements that were dated to this stone. Impressive, as always. But you know, we're lucky, because what if Team Plasma, noticed that old stone that time? Yes, very poignantly put, Bianca. What if they, noticed that stone? Instead of the Dragonite skull. It's a good thing they are region confused. Going after 1st gen region items, thinking it's going to work in the 5th gen? What kind of hacks is that? Now we know what they were up to back in Pinwheel Forest, all those episodes ago. Are you really okay with that? Of course we are! We're ready to be heroes. We're ready to receive the legendary Pokemon Reshiram. Bring it on, Nora! DeoGenZ, we're counting on you. Please take it. Oh, so it's only the stone. You can't unleash it here? Right in front of the museum? Put some kind of hex on it, maybe, and release it from its seal? Or actually, release a hex, I would say. And, bring it on out. Kind of like throwing a ancient stone Pokeball. Doesn't work that way, though. It will only work if we prove ourselves to Reshiram. So we must go to Oplucid City. The gym leader there knows a lot about Dragon-type Pokemon. So maybe he can help us unlock the power of Reshiram. I'm betting it's probably the same thing that we had to do in Crystal, as far as showing the legendary Pokemon our power. So, getting another gym badge in from the 8th gym leader, who knows very much about Dragon-type Pokemon, would not be the worst thing to do. We'll head over to Oplucid City. And who are you going to be a bodyguard for this time, Bianca? Okay, good. Ooh, sounds real serious. That's all. Okay. Yep, we're going Oplucid. And it's across the Two-Blind Bridge. And, of course, useless as always. Well, lucky for you guys, she is not doing this walkthrough, and I know which direction we have to head in. We first have to fly to Icarus City, and then we'll go northwest towards Oplucid, crossing the Two-Blind Bridge. But on this particular episode, I just did a shift there to re-heal my Pokemon from the Desert Ruins, the Desert Resort. I always get that mixed up. But it's a lovely rainy day in Icarus City, and even on Route 8, here's weather effects in full glory. But on today's episode, we are not actually going to make it to Oplucid City, but we're going to spend time focusing on training our Pokemon around this marshland in Route 8. I realized that upon a second walkthrough of this game, the first time I played through this, I pretty much jet through a large sector of the region that I didn't even notice. It was sort of north of where we needed to actually go, and I was more focused on just getting to the end. But in this walkthrough, we're going to check out all the areas I may have missed in the past. Of course, accompanied by sped-up battles, but hey, you get the point. You see what Pokemon the trainer has, and you prepare accordingly. Yes, your team should be pretty solid right now, but in this area there is an interesting Pokemon you can actually find, and it's called a Stunfisk. Now this Stunfisk, it's got not only a very ugly name, but it is a ugly Pokemon as well. Not sure if we're going to see one. If we do, maybe I'll leave it in. If not, we shall see. It's probably a matter of time limit, so most likely wild Pokemon will be cut. So yes, look up a Stunfisk. They are pretty ugly. It looks like somebody's dilapidated, moldy foot or something that was electrocuted and grew eyes as a growth. And she's admiring the splish splash of the footprints in the wet marshlands until you step in mud and then you get your boots stuck and then you get sucked in by swamp creatures. Tell you what, guys, I live in New Jersey, and little do people know, just because it's the East Coast, people think it's a beach kind of region, but originally, with the high water table, it's more or less of a marshland. And even though a lot of suburbia has tried to pave that over, the marshes still seep out every which way in Jersey. If anyone else watching these walkthroughs knows what I'm talking about, shout out to the marshlands of New Jersey. But it's pretty intense. You know, you would walk through there and think, yeah, maybe Pokemon live here. Maybe this is somewhere where a Stunfisk could be found. Just walking along one day in the marshlands of New Jersey, and they're right out in the woods. You go in the woods and bam, you're finding a river, you're finding a creek, you're finding some kind of moist land because of the high water table. It's not all beachy, cool sandness. It's very marshy and very moist, but you're walking through the marshes one day and then splat, scrat, and then shock. What was that? Definitely not a Pikachu. Not as strong as a Pikachu. Just a mildly annoying kind of irritation shock. And you look down, it's a Stunfisk. And you thought that you squished the Pokemon, but no, wait, it's actually the shape of a foot. Never mind. It's naturally like that. So check this out, guys. That little exit there, that entrance into the other portion of the woods, I was about to say pector, as in sector/portion, but I went with portion. It's the Moor of Icarus. Icarus Dock. And this has more areas to surf and find wild Pokemon. Of course, I've got Repel going, so that won't happen, but it's also got trainers, too. So more experience can be had here. And my recommendations before walking on up here, if you're following direct with this walkthrough, is bring a Pokemon that knows Strength. I did not for this walkthrough, so we're not going to go to the extra part of the Moor of Icarus, but I will point it out where you can go with your Strength, and it's pushing a boulder. I do find it quite interesting how they implemented Strength into the 5th generation. No longer do they leave stones for you to keep pushing each time you return to the region or area that had the Strength mechanic in it. So if you're in a cave, you never have to push that rock again. Just push it once into the hole that it was meant to go fall into, and bam, your Strength is done. Which I think is actually pretty awesome. Honestly, I think it's annoying to have to constantly bring certain HM Pokemon around if you're trying to explore more of the map. This allows you to bring a Strength Pokemon, then fly back to Icarus City, return it to your box, say if it's like a weak Boldore that has Strength, and it's not necessarily on your team, but it has the HM for you, so you can use it outside of battle and explore more of the map, which it definitely allows you to do. So this way, you don't have to keep using Strength, and it's just a direct pathway the next time you come back to that area. You can focus more on training the partners you want to, and exploring where you want to see. I think it's great that they implemented that mechanic, and it was actually unexpected. I didn't actually give it much thought. The first time I saw it in the Japanese version, I didn't really use Strength for that thought now. And right there, my Maractus got owned because Emolga is electric/flying type. But give it some more thought, and yeah, they really do have a lot of cool mechanics implemented with the new Strength. Something you just might not realize right off the bat. And also these new type configurations too. The Flying Electric Squirrel, the Bug Electric Galvantula. We'll have to look into if he can use Shadow Ball. But right now I'm still going through footage that I had recorded, and I won't have any choice of giving him Shadow Ball until we get to the Pokemon League, probably. So there you go. Anyway, we got a Citrus Berry from the Rangers. That's also an added bonus of going to the Moor of Icarus. You get to fight more Rangers, not just trainers, but Rangers! And Rangers are usually very friendly and environmentally minded, so they want you to know how awesome the environment is too. And for that, they share berries with you, because how cool is the environment producing berries? I mean, really, do you grow berries? I don't think so. Berries don't just come off of you. You don't got berry branches popping out of your head. can't get a fruit salad anytime you want. No ho ho. You need nature. And maybe that's... Oh, here we go. Stunfisk. Get ready for the ugliness of all ugly. I'm glad we didn't have to show... Yeah, look at that thing. Ugh. Who put that pile of crap in my Pokemon game? How is that a Pokemon? I forgot about it. It's on the level of Luvdisc. It's on the level of Trubbish. I mean, at least Trubbish evolves, but that does not. Stunfisk stays as ugly as a stunned fish for its entire life. So, that extra area where you can only get with strength is over here, but we don't have a Pokemon to push the boulder aside. So, we're just going to forget about it for now. But a cool little area up northeast of Icarus City. And it's a great spot for extra experience training. A funny spot to see a Stunfisk if you don't want to fight them in the wild, which is probably why this went back to heal there, and which is probably why I didn't include them in the wild encounters, was because we saw that trainer with one, and I didn't want to burn your retinas too badly while watching this walkthrough with the ugliness of that Pokemon. But one Stunfisk is enough. Let's hope this fisherman does not have another. Please have Magikarp. Or Basculin, that's fine too. And I'm not sure I understand the Basculin difference with the red and blue stripe. Does it actually have some kind of... see, he's got both of them. He's a true fisherman fan. I know they each appear in the respective black and white more than others, but does it give them some kind of power bonus when they're in double battles, or what? Not sure. And speaking of things that rhyme with Stunfisk, that Sunfish, Alamomola, is another pretty cool Pokemon. I like the water Pokemon that they've added. I usually like the water Pokemon that they add to generations, or I learn to love them. And this lady here is the Rock Chick. And she rocks, because every day you come back to her at a different time, she will give you a different stone. And what those rocks do is upgrade the abilities of Sandstorm and Hail, and also things like Torrential Downpour, so they last on the field longer and allow you to make more moves. But aha, before we go on to the Tube-Line Bridge, Bianca is challenging us, it seems. She's telling us about her future. As if we care. Anyway, we don't have time to battle her in this episode, so I will see you guys next time in Pokemon Black Walkthrough when we take on Bianca and cross the Tube-Line Bridge.